The first thing we need to do is install the software. It's clearly done through the Microsoft Store. So if we select Microsoft Store and then search for Power Apps, there it is. And that's the software that we want to install. So we can install it. Of course, we need an internet connection before we can do this. So that will install the software. For people that are using a tablet, then you just go to the relevant store, whether it's your Google Play Store or the Apple Store. So that will install. And once it's in, we can just go open. First thing we need to use to sign in. Once you signed in once, it should remember it, but you just need to sign in with your Microsoft account. In this case, it's that one for me. Continue with that. Now would you go to all the actually load my apps? So let's do that. Now you won't see as many as I've got. The one you want is this Coral Data Entry app here. So what we can do is we can click on that and then it will open it. We need to give it to allow it to use our location so they can say yes. And notice how it says this may be used without internet connection. Let's just go over this. So this is our main home screen that we'll be using. To get back, we'll just go there. That will take us back to the screen where we're at and have the app. The important thing here is that the app has a version. In this case, it's RC 3.01, February the 12th, 2026. It's important to look at this version and make sure you're running the latest version. The latest version will always be on the WhatsApp group. So as we release new versions, the version number will be there. So first thing to do is to check that you've got the latest version. If you're not sure, and you should do this anyway, this allows you to synchronize what you have on your desktop with what's on the server. So we can check for updates and it will synchronize. This is worth doing a few times regularly anyway, just to make sure you've got the latest data as well. So it said that there was nothing to sync because we're just out of this, but it doesn't hurt to have another go and to do this as many times as you feel you need to. This panel is also used to upload the data that we enter back to the server. So we use this at the end of the process as well. So we get rid of that. So this is our main screen. This top part here is the workflow. This is the most important part of the screen. So we have a workflow that goes, you first enter the trip details, you then select the site, you then put the details of a site visit. So this is when you go to a reef and you do a series of surveys. You then put the data for the survey metadata in, and then the actual field data sheets. Finally, you have a data quality control set of screens. You also have a web version, so if you're online, you can use this. It's exactly the same as this, and the two work together. You also have some YouTube videos. This is one of them. So there is a series of YouTube videos. They will be available to take you through each of the processes. And then you have this synchronization screen that we looked at just before. Okay, so we're good. So let's go through the workflow. So the first one is selecting an existing trip or entering a new field trip. We then go to site. In the similar way, we can select an existing site or we can add a new site. This idea of a site visit, that is when you actually go to the site and do a series of surveys. Again, we can select an existing one or add a new one. This won't let us add a new one because we haven't got a trip allocated yet. Same thing for a survey and then the data entry itself. Important thing is if all of these are linked to each other. So the data entry is linked to the survey in turn is linked to the site visit in turn is linked to the trip. So you need to select the right trip to then be able to put the site visit in, the survey, and the data. The biggest mistake you can make is to not have the right trip or site survey or survey selected and enter the data into the wrong trip. If there's no trip selected, it won't actually let you do anything. But it's possible for you to have the wrong trip selected. Here it will be selected down here, and for the data to go into the wrong place. So whenever you've entered data already and you come back into the system, select the trip first, select the site visit from that trip, select the survey, and then do your data entry. So if you can't find data, that's probably because you've got the wrong set of these selected. It's hierarchical, so trips have site visits have surveys, surveys have data, and the quality control used for the whole lot. It's also important to note that all the data is open, so anyone can see anyone else's data, so it's possible for you to select the wrong trip and then start adding data or editing data or changing data for the wrong trip. So it's absolutely important that you choose the right trip and then the right site visit, then the survey and the data entry, that you work through this workflow correctly. That way you will enter data into the correct location and it will all work. It's not easily possible to move data from the wrong location to the right one because everything is linked and those links are complicated. So really important that you can work through this workflow correctly. Every time you come in, you basically go through this workflow. Each step is really quick, only takes a few seconds, but select the trip, select the site visit, select the survey, then do your data entry, then do your data quality control. So let's quickly look at what a form looks like. If we go add a new field trip, this will bring up a form here. This is our back button, takes us back to where we were. Okay, so it's like going home, but go to the previous screen. You'll only ever be more than 2 screens away from the home screen, so just go back and then go back again. So it's going in again. You can see you've got a series of fields that it wants us to enter, and then a series of other fields down here. Where you've got the little red star, that's a required field. Where it is not, these are all required. There's not, then you will have just no red star. You've also got instructions down here. So whenever you're in doubt, there are a series of instructions that will help you. You also, in this case, have a YouTube video that tells you how to actually complete this field. And finally, we have a little help, a little lozenge there that gives you a help message, but tells you really what to do next. For most of these, it's just a matter of picking the drop-down boxes and running through the system. No, so it's saying that it's got unsaved data. It is possible then to leave this form with nothing saved and you will lose the data. So it's telling you need to save. There's a save button down here, but we actually haven't got far enough through the form at this stage to actually for that save to be active. Notice that there's also a validate button next to it. Every time you save, you should validate the form. So the idea is that you save the data and then you check it. The system will allow you to actually put data in that may be incorrect, but so that you can do the data entry, but then it actually needs to validate to check that that data is okay. So here we can save the data. You see it's saved, and then we can validate the data. Down some errors because we've got a second part of the form that we haven't done yet. So we've actually got some errors that have come up. So we can keep it to that. And then we keep going through the form. So we'll set our validation failed. So that's the way the system works. When you're finished, you should come back online and resync. That would be done there, or just exit the system.